In this video, I'm going to continue to show you the evidence to demonstrate that man is not one species, but instead, man is three species. This view is very unique, and it is not held or identified by any other source currently alive today or having ever existed. Hence, it is truly groundbreaking, and it provides insight into the behaviours of human beings that have never been observed before. So far, we've established that the current view of human evolution lacks any basis of fact, and that science has failed to define humans and identify who are we. Additionally, observations of our nearest relatives, the great apes, suggests that each different breed has distinctly different behaviours, and that these can be identified by the traits that exist within them. Notably, each different type of ape has different types of traits. We can surmise that these trait and type combinations may equally apply to humans as well as our ape relative. However, can this be empirically tested and hence be proven as fact? If we can, then we may finally be able to define who are we. You may ask why this is important for humankind, and the answer to this is that the implications are huge. If the viewpoint that man is three species is correct, then all three species are distinctly different in their diet, their medicinal need, their education and learning, their reasoning, their behaviour, their sexual preferences, their crimes, and so on. Hence, this is redefining for man. A one-fit-for-all approach to humans in all aspects of our social sphere is inadequate and verging on derisory. I am Mr. Cup. My name is Gregory Hayward. This is a very important name. Right now, we must continue to reset the human compass. In this series, I seek to argue that man is three distinct species with specific trait combinations that create four different types. There is disparity here because the four different types would surely result in four different species. I will answer this later. It may be argued that the different trait combinations merely result in differences that exist within a single species of humans. However, this is refuted here. The similarity in behaviour that has been observed between the apes and humans provides for four distinct species in the former, i.e. orangutans, gorillas, common chimpanzees, and bonobo chimpanzees. These four different breeds of ape are seen as being very distinct by species, and that each different species has a different range of behaviours. Hence, it would follow that humans are similar if these types and traits are also evident. However, to finally draw this conclusion, we must seek the proof, determine this to be fact, and hence deliver empirical validity. Furthermore, the implications for humankind are highly significant. The differences go beyond just behaviours, and they provide further distinctions in the form of diet, susceptibility to ailments, learning styles, and so on. Hence, the implications are far-reaching because three distinct species of humans will require different types of medicine, education, diet, fitness, sexual preferences, political preferences, social activity, and so on. Clearly, a variation of three different types of humans would redefine many, if not all, aspects of the human social sphere. So, what can we deduce to help move this forward? Each different species of ape is markedly different to the other in terms of physical appearance. For example, the orangutan has reddish hair, the gorilla has a black coat of hair, and the chimpanzee is dark brown or light brown, depending on the breed, being either the common chimpanzee or the bonobo chimpanzee. In the human species, this stark contrast in physical appearance is not as acute, or so it may seem. Predominantly, humans have not been looking to establish whether or not species-specific physical characteristics have variations in humans. For the last 170 years, people have believed that we are one species. However, if you look again, there are very clear and distinct differences in human physical traits. In the argument that man is three species, this table demonstrates species-specific physical characteristics and their basic common denominator. Therefore, the first species known in this table, called the yod, has the trait combination of individual and robust. This species is characterized by having ginger or blonde hair and blue eyes. The second species, the hay, has medium to dark hair and the eye colour is brown, and so on. Interestingly, the species-specific physical characteristics of each different human type do share a commonology with their comparative breed of ape. For example, the human species yod, individual robust trait combination, shares a common characteristic with their orangutan counterpart in their reddish hair. More importantly, the comparative nature of our observation of the apes has moved markedly on another scale. The comparison of traditional science, which involves the argument for evolution, perceives that humans correlate with the great apes of our ancestral past. However, my current argument that man is three species does not take a lateral, divergent view. That is, that we evolved from the apes over time. But instead, the correlation is a convergent, horizontal comparison in which human beings are being compared to their present day counterpart. In other words, I am saying that we did not evolve from the apes. Instead, the apes merely provide a high level of correlation to humans, and hence they tell us a lot about who are we. Hence, the latter testament displaces the argument in favour of evolution and by default relegates the ancestral debate to the leagues of fallacious human reasoning. Furthermore, I wholeheartedly dispute the observations of Charles Darwin, and I find them to be equally fallacious. In particular, the Darwinian theory that all species of organisms arise and develop through the natural selection of small, inherited variations that increase the individual's ability to compete, survive and reproduce. This is highly refuted and expressly deemed as fallacious. Of particular note, the statement survival of the fittest is dismissed outright. This misconception of human and animal behaviour is extremely divisive and has led mankind into ever increasing acrimony. If man does not understand its reason for being, how can it conceptualize the reasons by which it acts? Are we here to find truth or merely promote political ambition and ignore all consequence? You be the judge. Right now, of great significance is the test of empirical validity. The arguments that favour evolution, natural selection and survival of the fittest are hypothetical at best. As stated earlier in this paper, so far scientists have been unable to detect the moment of evolution for any species. They merely infer evolutionary signposts that help to frame our understanding of the emergence of humans. However, the observations given in the table clearly demonstrate that there are species-specific physical characteristics that can be correlated to different types of species. Additionally, these physical features can also be linked to specific traits, and the opportunity to find empirical validity is much greater than the argument for evolution. Hence, the argument that man is three species has significant ability to change human knowledge forever. In the next episode, we expand on the theme of establishing fact behind the argument that man is three species, and we explore the implications that this brings for the future of humankind. The only language I speak is the truth. There is much to say. Keep watching Mr. Cut.